Just wanted to talk, that's all.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another season of Yankees fan voicemails here on Pinstripe Territory. I hope you enjoyed your evening after a nice opening day win. I saw a comment yesterday that Clay Holmes would have imploded in the ninth inning, and that even though Devin Williams struggled, the difference is he was able to lock it in and strike out the side. And I didn't know where to put it within this whole show because it didn't really have a whole topic to it, but I wanted to call that out because I thought it made a lot of sense. And it's a good sign that he was able to dial it back in rather than let it spiral out of control. You know, I think that one of the reasons that Clay Holmes gave us all these heart attacks is that we knew that once things would start unraveling, a lot of times they would completely unravel. Yesterday, things got a little bit dicey for Devin Williams, but ultimately he locked down the game. There were other closers like that. John Wetland, a lot of you will remember from the 90s teams, especially 96, he was always doing that high wire act when he would close out games. And, he still closed out the World Series, even though it was a little bit dicey. Koso 929 says, Soto fails for the Mets. Is this a Yankee recap or a bash on Soto? Oh no, oh my God, we're talking smack about Soto.
I'm breaking your balls a little bit, that's all.
Look, we're just busting his cojones there. We'll talk about Juan Soto, but I think it's okay to root against him, and a lot of Yankees fans were talking about it, and my job is to get Yankees fans to tune in and call in and participate, and so that's one of the topics that we wanted to talk about. But the Yankees still have a chance to go wire to wire this year. They woke up this morning in first place. They're in a three-way tie with the Orioles and Red Sox, all 1-0. The Blue Jays lost yesterday. The Rays did not play. So three teams that could be duking it out all season long, off to good starts. Before I run through my quick topics and we do your voicemails, a little bit of fun. I was playing around with AI this morning, and this is one that's going to be better for if you're watching on YouTube than if you're listening on the audio platform. But I wanted to turn some images from yesterday's opening day into AI cartoons. This is a segment we call Art Imitates Life, or Life Imitates Art. We got Jason Dominguez here. I added the UFO in the background. I might take the logo off of some of these and turn them into like t-shirts or whatever. And then we got serial killer Carlos Rodon with a backwards K here. Looking great with the beard, looking menacing. I love this. I mean, these are incredible. Aaron Judge, why pitch to me? This is after his double, his RBI double. On pace for 162 RBIs. And you know what? He almost had that many last year. He had 144. This was my favorite one. This was Volpe standing for the national anthem. Looks just like him. We got, the perfect hairdo, the fluffle. We got Ben Rice after he smoked a bullet off the right field wall. Good start for him. He just destroyed the baseball in spring training. And this is me answering your voicemails. They made me a little fatter than I am now. I used to be a little chubbier. And then we got Devin Williams with the closing it out. So great job by AI there. All right, let's move on to my first little topic here. Yankees with beards for the first time in over 40 years. I thought Rodon, like I said, looked comfortable. He looked straight up menacing. I gotta say, he seems more comfortable in his own skin, like Joe Girardi said, and like we said for years that Yankees would be if we let them have their own look, their own facial hair. Devin Williams, Mark Leiter, and Jason Dominguez all also sporting facial hair. I think Judge should grow one. I think before long, Wells will have one because he's going to get tired playing behind the dish every day. Although I got to say, it's not as charismatic to say want a beard ride as far as, if you want a mustache ride. I mean, it's just not as charismatic. So maybe he'll stick with the mustache. On to the Juan Soto topic. He struck out yesterday to end the game with the game on the line in Houston. And you may remember that last year the Yankees opened up in Houston. And Soto had an amazing series. He had an amazing opening day. He went deep. He threw a runner out at home. He had an incredible day. Yesterday, not so good. He walked a couple of times. Sure, that's what he's going to do. He is going to walk a gazillion times this year. That's what happens when you don't have Aaron Judge protecting you in the order. And he struck out on a weak hack to end the game. And look, a few people have mentioned yesterday that I left the Mets out of my playoff prediction. And the reason I did is because I don't think they have pitching. And I don't think they did much other than get Juan Soto. They re-signed the polar bear, Pete Alonso. But they didn't really address their pitching that much. I mean, Clay Holmes, they're trying to convert him into a starter. He's their opening day starter. He's got elite stuff, but he's a head case. And we all knew that. He's not going to succeed as a starter. You got Manaea, who was kind of a fluke last year, I think, and he's hurt. Montas is hurt. I don't think they're that good. And I personally used to like Juan Soto a lot, very much, as a human being. I want nothing but prosperity for him and his family. I'll say that out front. But I don't like him anymore, and I'm not rooting for him because he ditched the Yankees for money. But it's not just that. It is partially the contract. You know, I think these $700 million contracts are breaking the sport. I think it's going to lead to a lockout or a strike, and quite frankly, he's not close to worth that much because he's not a complete player. I saw the other day where he called himself the greatest hitter of all time. What? I can name 5 players that I've watched personally that are better hitters than Juan Soto. Barry Bonds, Alex Rodriguez. Say what you want about those two and steroids. But Barry Bonds, best hitter I've ever seen. It's not close. A-Rod, he had a lot of years that were better than anything Soto has done. Ichiro Suzuki, not a power guy. But in 2003, 2004, the dude would hit a line drive every time or a chopper and beat it out. He was an offensive just miracle. Ken Griffey Jr. You did not want to pitch to Ken Griffey Jr. in a big spot, ever. And another one I've seen is Aaron Judge. Yes, Aaron Judge is a better hitter than Juan Soto. He's a better offensive player, and it's not close. He hit 40 points higher last year than Juan Soto. His on-base percentage was 39 points higher. He had 17 more home runs. Is this really a discussion? Listen, I got a pretty good podcast, I think. Maybe you guys disagree, but some of you I'm sure do. I would never say I'm the best podcast in the world. I would never say I'm the biggest or the most successful because there's a lot of them that are way bigger, way better. Hell, as far as Yankees podcasts go, Talking Yanks is way bigger. But I would never dare call myself I'm the best. You got to be realistic. Juan Soto, I'm speaking to you directly. You are not the best hitter ever. You're not even the best hitter in New York, and that is a fact. All right, let's move on to another segment here that we're going to do as part of the morning show throughout the year, Inside Edge. Oh yeah, Tony Gwynn, Wade Boggs, great comment from Jake Boss, and great beard from Jake Boss. That's a solid beard, man. That is a quality beard. All right, we're going to do a segment here on Inside Edge. This is a scouting service, or basically a I don't know why it's moved over to the. Let me just put it back on the screen a little bit more. There we go. This is a scouting and stats service. This is Max Fried, and it basically gives you his numbers, and it tells you this orientation tab here tells you whether it's like a positive or it's like a high watermark or it's a low. So like it's got rankings and all this stuff. So I just kind of want to orient you with what we're looking at before I explain everything. Basically, he is amazing with his fastball down, his low fastball. Since 2022, he ranks number 1 in slugging on the fastball down. 256 slugging percentage, and the league average is 417. So you're going to see a lot of fastballs low in the zone. gets sink. Second time through the order, they're slugging just .222 against him. That's ranked number 1. That was 2024. Second time through since 2023, they've got a .277 slugging percentage. Now let's go ahead and look at 3-pitch strikeouts. Since the 2024 season, he ranks 39th. So you figure every team has, one guy who's like an ace-type pitcher. He's basically a really good number 2. His curveball. I mean, we have all sorts of rankings here. His curveball is phenomenal. Anyway, we can go back to looking at all stats here. Actually, let's go ahead and look at pitch use of the curveball. You can see that he ranks 8th in pitch usage of the curveball on the first pitch and with runners in scoring position. He throws it a lot. Curveball is an excellent pitch for him. So, reset all filters. Max Fried. I mean, let's take a look at some of the stuff where he ranks high. Fastball in a strikeout, 2nd since 2023. 56.7 percentage. 0.7 percentage. So, Max Fried, your little scouting report here, brought to you by Remarkable from Inside Edge. Tremendous stats. I think this is what, all the announcers use when they are, giving you stuff, little segments during the game. So we'll do this daily. We'll look at, the pitchers. We'll look at the hitters. We'll look at people from other teams and stuff like that. But I thought you guys might enjoy that. And then next, we've got our NostraDerek prediction. My prediction tomorrow is that Paul Goldschmidt will hit his first home run as a Yankee. I think Nestor Cortez is going to be so focused on getting Aaron Judge out that he's going to forget about Goldschmidt. And his first hit with the Yankees will be a home run, and I'm saying right center field. That is my NostraDerek prediction for tomorrow. All right, let's go ahead and finally get to your voicemails. But first, a quick word from True Classic, the true sponsor of today. And it's from me, so I'll be right here, and then I'll be back with your voicemails on a different screen. I got to give a shout out to today's sponsor, True Classic. If you're looking for clothes that don't break the bank and actually fit, True Classic is the move. I am wearing a True Classic shirt right now. Since they sent me a package of them, I've been wearing them pretty much nonstop because they are so comfortable. They're light. They fit well. As you can see, they form to the body well. I've lost a bunch of weight lately, and I just needed some transitional clothing, and they came along at the perfect time. They have long sleeves. They have short sleeves. It's great for taking a walk, for when you go to the gym, or when you're just hanging around the backyard with your dog. So whether you are layering up and getting ready for winter, or trying to relax and enjoy the cool breeze in the springtime or the summertime, True Classic is the way to go. Visit trueclassic.com/stripe. trueclassic.com/stripe and elevate your wardrobe today. All right. Let's see here. This one's about
Hey,
Rodon.
Derek, it's Spike from New Jersey.
Spike.
I just wanted to talk about Carlos Rodon real quick. I don't think he's ever really going to be the kind of ace that we thought we were signing, or the 1A ace to Garrett Cole. He's great, and I do like watching him pitch, but to me, an ace is a guy who can confidently get into the 7th inning and finish a game strongly. I feel like every time he's on the mound, once he gets around 70, 80 pitches, he just falls apart. He loses the zone. He just can't hold it together. Last year he had a lot of run support, so we got a bunch of wins. But I still don't feel like we ever see him get into the 7th and finish it confidently. Sometimes he'll even be like, "No, I'm staying in the game. And then he'll just give up like 2 or 3 hits, and then Boone's like, you see, I should have taken you out. I'm glad he got the win today, but I just wanted to get your thoughts on why you think he always falls apart around 70, 80 pitches. Do you think he's just literally just getting gassed? Wanted to hear your thoughts.
Yeah, I think that's exactly it. He's a max effort pitcher. Like if you watch a slow motion video of him pitching, you see that he puts everything in his body into every pitch. And the way pitchers are built these days, and the way they're trained, it's not necessarily to go 7 2/3 like they used to be, like David Cohn or David Wells would do, or Andy Pettitte. He's one of these guys who's going to go 5 1/3, 5 2/3, and hopefully give you 1 or 2 runs, just going max effort every time. And I think that, I'll take it, honestly. It works. You turn it over to a really good bullpen, most of the time you're going to get the dub if you got any kind of offense at all. That's why he got 16 wins. He did get some run support last year, but he pitched better than a lot of people realize. He had some stretches where he was awful that hurt his numbers, but I thought he was really solid. And he's becoming more of a pitcher. I would say he's a thrower at this point, but the fact that he's working in the sinker now, he's working in the changeup now, I think he's becoming much more of a pitcher than a thrower.
Good morning, Derek. It's Connor from New Jersey again.
Hey, Connor.
Calling from, again, New Jersey, LOL. But I went to my first opening day game yesterday at the stadium. It was electric. I've never had a sports experience like that before. It was pretty cool. Devin Williams definitely gave me a heart attack yesterday. I thought we got rid of Clay Holmes, but in all seriousness, even though he looked shaky in the beginning, the way he struck out Yelich and Churio, that was pretty nasty. I mean, you got to have balls of steel to get yourself in that situation and then get yourself out of it. Not as quickly as he did, but kind of, I guess. I don't know, but.
All right, appreciate the call. Yeah, so he was able to refocus, right? I think that for a closer, when you have such a small room for error, especially when you're making like your debut and it's like a lot of people in the stands, and I think that you can try and be too precise. And I think that's what he was trying to do early on. He wasn't really trusting his sinker. Also, I think there's something to what Joe Girardi said in the booth, which is that the Brewers knew every pitch he was going to throw. They knew every pitch he was going to throw. He didn't make them look silly on any pitches. I think he's going to pitch much better against the rest of the league than he did against the Brewers because he's been a Brewer. They know his book. If he's tipping, they know. You hope he's not tipping. And if he is, you hope that the Yankee scouts pick up on it. But the Brewers knew everything he was going to throw. Luckily, he was able to work his way out of it.
Hey, good morning. It's Mary Beth, 6 o'clock out here. Julie just finished watching the show from yesterday. Sometimes the time frame for watching your show is a little different for me. Just want to say it is wonderful to win the first game. Just really important. I'm always about the emotions, So talking about emotions, oh my God, the pitcher down, oh my God, it was like, oh my God. So there we go. And also I have to say, following up also on my subtle, just, look at Juan Soto. There he was, left at the plate. And yes, he's not a bad guy, but he left the Yankees. So I got a feeling about just watching him stand at the plate, and the Mets lost. Okay, listen.
Appreciate it, Mary Beth. Yeah. I mean, I'm not going to lie, the Schadenfreude, or however you pronounce it, I can't pronounce it. They say don't make fun of people if they pronounce things wrong because that means they learn them by reading them. That's the case with me in Schadenfreude, and it's also not English, and I speak English. But taking pleasure in someone else's failure is a real thing, and I'm not going to be ashamed of it. I was happy to see that he struck out to end the game, and I hope it happens a lot more.
Hey, Derek, this is Tabor Talk from the Catskills.
Tabor Talk.
Good to be back. Day one, opening day, but oh my God. Devin Williams, I was hoping for a 1-2-3. Here we are, bases loaded, nobody out. Single, double, walk, and come on. What's going on here? Let's hope and pray that we win this one. All right. Bye.
Appreciate the call. Gregory Wayne also chimes in. He says that Devin Williams' fastball was at 93, 94, so he wasn't tossing all out. He's pretty much a 94.7 mile an hour guy. That's about his average velo. So he can go 95, 96, but most of the time he's going to be 93 to 95. So I wouldn't expect too much more in the tank velo wise. He's a changeup guy. He gets by on his movement, and it was wicked, but it took him a few minutes to dial it in.
What's up, Derek? It's Mark down in Virginia. Just want to say great first show yesterday, and of course, great win by our Yanks. I know it's a little early in the season, but I've got a hot take for you. This Judge character, making $40 million a year, how dare he go 1 for 4? He should have had 4 home runs yesterday. Time to cut and run. Let's trade him now while he still has value. Of course, I'm kidding. Just wanted to call back to that moronic voicemail that we got so much laughter over last season from. Anyway, looking forward to another year of Pinstripe territory. Go Yanks.
Appreciate it. Tabor Talk, Mary Beth, I didn't catch everybody else's names. Thanks for the calls. Once again, we're going to do voicemail shows in the mornings, 10:30 in the morning, all season long. You can call in during the game, and I'll try and get it into the show if I can work it in. I think it adds a little bit of spice to the show. And then for like the longer takes on the game, when I first started NYY Recaps a few years ago, my initial thought was do a morning voicemail show. But nobody's going to call in if like they don't know who you are. So I had to kind of establish the show. Like I had to establish everything to get to the point where we'd even get calls in the morning. So now that we have it, we're going to continue to do the post-game show, but we're also mixing in the morning show days after Yankees games. So that way we can kind of talk through everything the day after. When I'm watching the game, I'm taking notes, preparing graphics, all that stuff. I don't get to watch as a fan as much as I used to. Like I don't get to rewind and watch a home run 3 or 4 times because I got to keep up with the game and I got to move swiftly. So afterwards, I always go to Yankees Avenue and watch the highlights or whatever if the Yankees win. And so, this morning I've watched the highlights a couple of times already, and it's just a really good feeling to be undefeated. Now, I'm not saying the Yankees are going to go 162-0, and, I'm not even saying that they're going to, win on Saturday. But there's a different vibe from the fans. There's a different vibe in my life when the Yankees are undefeated. And 1-0, you got the day off. It's so much better than being 0-1 and having the customary day off after opening day because you got to sit there and soak in it. So enjoy it. Watch the highlights. Have fun. Go back and watch the podcast again. Call in. We'll do voicemails again as part of the show tomorrow. And we'll be back for a recap of Max Fried's Yankees debut. Tune in to Foul Territory today, 1 p.m., and we will catch you next time. I'll see you then. Hey, while I've got you here, be sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Pinstripe Territory is the official Yankees podcast of the Foul Territory Network. We are home to the #1 most watched MLB postgame show on YouTube since 2021. We're here after every Yankees game and for reactions to all the best news and rumors during the offseason. Be a part of the show by calling into the voicemail 718-899-1068. Try to keep it clean for me. And if you ever miss us on YouTube, be sure and subscribe on all your favorite podcast platforms. Go ahead and rate us 5 stars. It'll help other people find the show. Thanks for watching. See ya.